Hello lovely people, and I'm going to be going through 5 things that you're probably not doing on social media, which is going to increase followers, increase engagement, get you more matches on Tinder, increase penis length, increase the chances of your partner doing more housework, and many other things. That was just a joke for the last few things, but maybe it could, I don't know. This will benefit people from entrepreneurs, businessmen, creators, artists. So I'm a photographer, I have my own social media accounts as well and worked on other social media accounts, and I like to think that there are a couple of things I've picked up along the way which are going to increase things and increase the likelihood of getting a lot of engagement and exposure. Okay, so point number 1, don't be a hero with your camera equipment. What I mean by this is you don't have to be Ansel Adams or any sort of famous photographer which has like been retouched to the absolute max and you look like porcelain and fake. No, you don't need to do that. Some of the best sort of images I've seen that have done and reacted well on social media have been on kind of a semi-good sort of camera. I'm shooting this on a Canon M3 and don't really need to go too much more with camera quality there. So a decent sort of camera, Samsungs are probably leading the way in the way of how good the picture quality is, and if you're in very good light, iPhones are also acceptable as well. So crazy quality on camera does not make your photo stand out necessarily. Point number 2, this is actually when you take a photo or video. You want it to be really high contrast, high saturation in colors, bright backgrounds. Social media is a very noisy thing and you want to be able to stand out a mile. So that is one thing you can do. So take for example, a clown walks down the street, all in colors, bright, he's gonna stand out, isn't he? So in regards to photography, I don't mean you have to wear a clown suit all the time, but high contrast, high saturation of colors, really bright backgrounds, make yourself stand out. Okay, so point number 3, if you have these, use them to your advantage. Oh no, I'm taking a selfie, but it's really high up so you can see my cleavage as well. No, don't be that person. And to be honest, yeah, if you're doing the spread eagle upside down with nothing on, you're probably going to get attention. But is this the right attention you really want? Everyone knows the line, and that line of morality that you don't really step over. Don't be that guy who just is scoring for likes that way. There are other ways to be disruptive. It actually brings me on to my point number 3, my actual point number 3, and that is be different, be disruptive. A lot of the photos I've seen where people have reacted well, they've taken a photo in like a scenario where they wouldn't usually be in. So, I don't know, exercise equipment in the middle of a snowy place, or on top of a bridge where you can see the cityscape in the background. Obviously do all this safely, so I'm not condoning going up a side of a skyscraper and taking a selfie there. People do it. Yeah, so be different. Even where you are, you could be in the most derelict place in the world. There's always going to be certain quirky sort of things that are going to stand out in a photo. We've just got to think a little bit differently, and it's easy to Google these sort of things anyway for different scenarios. Just take that little bit of time, of extra time, just to be different. Okay, so point number 4, and this is probably the hardest one to achieve, but this is going to get you the most engagement in a photo or video. And that is, sounds crazy, but be your actual self, be natural in your most natural state, because this is social media. People are, if they want to look at editorials, etc., they're going to see a Hugo Boss person plastered all over a website, or, you know, social media's not meant for that. People just want to look at it because they're having a bit of time, just having a little look through, and they like to see like pretty things, and it's a social media aspect. So be social. So if that means you got to do the whole Kim Kardashian, oh, did I drop something out in the street? She definitely looked natural. Looks like she naturally dropped something. So when someone first meets up with you, they're judging you purely on how you look in the first 3 seconds. So if they see a photo of you and they've never even met you before, so you don't have that chance to talk to them and use body language and all this sort of thing to try and change their sort of view on you. So yeah, you're kind of limited then with people judging you. So you've got to make sure all this content, you look really, really natural and you in your most natural state, because that's how you make friends. That's how people engage with you. You look in your most natural state. So definitely work on that one. That's a hard one, but definitely worth doing. Okay, so my fifth and final point, and this is probably another important one as well, and this is where I see a lot of people fall off the bandwagon, and that is consistency. So millions of users on over Facebook, Instagram, all social media platforms, etc. How the hell do you stick out in a busy crowd like that? You want to have a regular routine with your content, but you also want to try and create your own unique style. Like, I know that can take a bit of time, but it'll make the world of difference. Look through some Instagram accounts and you see a unique sort of filter or color scheme throughout the entire platform, and these are the sort of platforms that are doing really, really well. When people have a little bit of time and they're scrolling through their social media accounts, they're going to come across a style which they've seen before, and that repetition is just going to embed subconsciously. It's a natural psychological thing. So through repetition, I think it's something like 27 times or within that sort of number where something gets embedded. So if they keep seeing that unique style, they're going to associate themselves with you, and eventually they're going to give you a follow if they haven't already done so, or they're just going to be organic and keep looking at your stuff anyway. Okay, so there are some of my points, and if you implement them properly, they will definitely make a big difference. So I don't want to see people strapping dildos to their heads whilst standing up on the Empire State Building now, whilst taking a selfie. Okay, you get some followers, but they're not going to be the right followers you want. Okay, thanks for watching everyone, and keep watching. There'll be more content coming up soon. See ya.